So here, guys, I have a 2007 Toyota Camry with the ABS light on, as you can see, and the speedometer not working. Let me show you guys exactly what the fix is. It's going to be the ABS actuator. A lot of time it shorts out the CAN network and it takes down the combination meter, the AC, and other electrical components. I see a lot of guys on YouTube, they will often swap out that black box you see there. But in today's video, we're going to replace the ABS actuator itself. Here's the part number from Toyota. Here's the brand new ABS actuator in my hand right now. This is the part we're going to be installing. I see people swapping out that back from the junkyard. It may work for some customers if you're on a budget, but here at the dealership, we can't swap one out from a junkyard. We're going to replace it with a brand new one. Take out the coolant reservoir. It just kind of hooks onto the slot you see there. You don't have to remove any 10mm bolts or anything. It just pulls out from the slot. Light little tug. It comes off pretty easy. Move it to the side. You're going to find a bolt holding down the ABS bracket. And on the right, you're going to find two more bolts between the AC lines. Go ahead and loosen up the connector. It's easy. Just lift up that tab and pull that connector out. Should come off pretty easy. And then we got these 4 lines going to the wheels. And then we got these 2 coming from the master cylinder. We're going to go ahead and loosen up all those lines. Kind of hard not to make a mess. Brake fluid is going to spill everywhere. But try to get those lines off as quick as you can to prevent the amount of time the brake fluid sits on that paint. That's something you definitely don't want to do. Try your best to not get that brake fluid on the vehicle's paint. Brake fluid is paint's worst enemy, man. It will strip the paint right off fast too. So I try to remove it as quick as possible to get a rag underneath it. So we got those 3 12mm bolts that I talked about. I'm going to go ahead and zip those off. Here are the 3 bolts right here. Just going to remove the brake lines out of my way. And you see the little tabs on the ABS bracket. It kind of hooks onto that slot. So just be careful and be mindful when you're putting it back. I'm just going to remove the brake lines out of my way. And that should give me enough room to remove that ABS actuator. Right now, I'm just spraying it down with some brake clean to get the brake fluid off the vehicle's paint. And then I like to put a rag underneath so the brake fluid could spill on the rag instead of the vehicle's paint. So we're just going to try to swap over those brackets you see. Just the 2 10mm nuts. Should loosen it up and I should be able to get that bracket out of there. Let's go ahead and break those 10mm nuts loose. So now I got the ABS bracket out. I'm going to install it on the new one. I'm going to loosen up those 10mm nuts and I'm going to try to align that center bushing with the center stud on the ABS pump on the brand new one. Go ahead and tighten it up. And now I'm going to get ready for install. I'm going to remove that rag and spray it down with some brake clean one last time and try to install it as fast as I can before those brake lines start leaking more fluid. And pretty much from here, guys, I'm just going to go in a reverse order of removal. I'm going to tighten up those 3 12mm bolts you saw me removing earlier. Yeah, like I said, some people will try to swap off that back cover with those four bolts you see. That black cover from the junkyard. It is cheaper than getting a new ABS pump, but I wouldn't recommend that on your vehicle because there's going to be some steps you're going to run into, such as clearing the DTCs and putting it in test mode to zero point out the calibration for the yaw rate sensor. And you won't be able to do that for the junkyard. Now, if money is an issue or if you're on a tight budget, for some customers, it makes sense. I can understand why. But if you can get a new actuator, it's better to just go ahead and do it. Go ahead, put our connector back, rinse it all off with some brake clean. Get all the brake fluid out. Don't try to leave none behind. If you don't care about the interior paint under the hood, fine. You can leave the brake clean there, but we try to do things right. I'm going to blow it off with some shop air. You know, you want to do a clean job. You don't want to just be sloppy and somebody can tell you just did some work there. Try to be professional and do things right. And there go those slots that you're going to install the coolant reservoir back. It only goes on one way, so no bolts, no nothing, just easy top off. I'm going to top off the brake fluid, master cylinder, because I'm going to get ready to bleed the brakes. And I'm just going to bleed the brakes on all 4 wheels. Here I'm using a vacuum bleeder hooked up to shop air to just pull most of the fluid through, but I'm going to finish it off with a traditional pump, and brake. I'm going to log into the tech stream, select ABS. And this is the extra step that the guys, you often see on YouTube just swapping out that box. You don't see them doing this, but it's actually required. Here I'm just clearing the DTC just to make sure all the trouble codes are gone. And I'm going to go under utility. And right here, I'm going to make my way to test mode. You see right, it says right there, use this function to the right. Use this function after replacing the skid control ECU and yaw rate sensor. So here, this function is to calibrate the yaw rate sensor. It has me make sure of a couple things. Vehicle is on a level surface. Steering wheel is straight ahead positioned. Shifter is in park. Engine is not running. Ignition is on. A few qualifications that need to be met. It also wants me to keep the vehicle stationary for 2 seconds or more. I'm going to hit the next button. And now the ABS light should be blinking rapidly. And you see the steering wheel is in a straight ahead position. I'm going to go to the DTC one more time, make sure no trouble code set. And that's it. Now you can see the speedometer working fine. That's all there is to it, guys. If you find this video informative, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. As always, thanks for watching.